All right, so uh, for those of you who've been paying attention, you'd know that I only uploaded two Deadly Assault runs. That's obviously because I haven't done this one. I don't know. I just been putting it off. It's like I don't want to go in there and do it. Um, I know it's just a new boss. Anyway, the main thing is again, it's just the team lineup. First of all, he's physical resistant, which means Jane Doe is going to be severely hampered. And we don't even have the benefits of like, uh, what's it called? The benefits of like ether, advantage, right? So I don't know. We're kind of stuck with this. We'll see how this goes. I don't have high hopes for it, but we'll see. That's kind of the main thing. It's just like going into such a disadvantaged, such a bad matchup. It's like, oh my gosh. But whatever. Let's just get into it. Man, I'm just trash at this. Okay. He starts off with the control skill right away, which, again, um, it's not really a. Partially, it's a skill issue. This is the first time I fought this boss, so I don't have any like point of reference for him. But I've talked about it at length before that I really don't like these like cutscene bosses where they just kind of like waste your time. See, like, one of the things I like about this game is that you don't have to learn a boss's moveset per se. Like, it helps, certainly. But the way the flashes are set up means that you're not memorizing the bosses, you're reacting to what's going on, right? I don't know, it's just insanely boring to me to have to, like, memorize hit patterns. Like, I don't think it's very, what's the word? I don't think it's really good design, personally. I mean, it's fine. It's not like the end of the world, right? Just, this isn't the type of thing I like.
The final act begins now.
This isn't going well. What we might end up having to do is I might try this using Grace. Oh, come on.
Careful. I bite. Want some more? Who's the hunter and who's the prey? Here's a taste of the abyss.
Yeah, I think that, and the other thing too is like I don't think Grace is gonna be necessarily much better here. I don't know. I don't know if I'd say she'd be worse. I don't know how much worse you can be than this shoddy performance we're seeing right here. But yeah.
Wanna know what lurks in the darkness? No escape.
Oh, I thought I blocked that.
Careful.
Yeah, we're like half the score we should be. That's not good.
Wanna know what lurks in the darkness?
That's terrible. Yeah, and again, like it takes time to learn the mechanics. I didn't read anything going into this, so I don't really know what to do. Actually, I don't even know what the performance thing was. Let's go look at that. It wouldn't have saved the run. I think I would have hit like 15 or 14k. What are we at here? How many stars did I get? I got 1 star. Nah, not even. Well, 25 extra would have had me at like almost 14. Let's take a look here. So, Gale Scorcher states impairing them grants performance points. I don't know how to hit him, striking him down when he's in midair. And then the control skill thing is easy. You just have to like dodge out of the way and hit all 3. As you saw earlier, when he does or he or she or it or whatever did the control skill at the very beginning, like the last one hit me because again, it's like, well, I don't know where it's coming because the timings get spaced out a little differently. So it's like the first hit, regular delay, then fast, and then another like regular delay one. So it's like you just have to see it more than once and you'll be fine. But yeah, I think let's see. Gale Scorcher. They gain 5 stacks of Into Flames. Each stack of Into Flames increases damage dealt by this much. Yeah, I think I'll pause this and I'll come back and I'll do I don't even know what buff I have on. Yeah, see it's ice related. So unfortunately the issue is we just don't have a whole lot we can do here. So I'm gonna go gear up Grace and then we'll come back. I guess I'll show off the builds for the time being. I don't know what all these markers are. Here we go. So this is Jane right now. Then we've got Yuzuha. Oh, this is the other reason why I forgot to swap this weapon off of her. Ugh, terrible. We'll see. I mean, that'll probably get us up to 15k. We'll do one more run with her and the weapon, and now we have the control skill a little better, and we kind of have a slightly better, it's not great, but slightly better understanding of how the boss kind of works a little bit. We'll try it again, and then we'll try with Grace afterwards, and we'll see if that gives us any improvement. Yeah, let's just go back in there. Again, I don't think it's going to make that big a difference, but, you know, you never know. What are they giving me here? Molten Crown of Dusk, whatever that means. Anyway, let's go back in here and try this again. Also, I probably could have been blocking a little more, which would have led to more stuns and just everything in general, so. Let's see what we got here. See, you lose points there because you don't have that. Again, the issue is just the timing is a little off. You have to kind of memorize it, and I don't always have it memorized. The windows are kind of, yeah. Okay, let's try this again. It even says right there, see, I'm like busy looking at the boss and there's words that that'll tell you what to do.
Careful. I bite. Careful.
I'm gonna restart. I need to refresh the buff for Yuzuha. That entire sequence there had like no Yuzuha buff because I had just taken too long. Terrible. But the mechanics are helping out, learning, how to do the boss. It's just, again, I don't read anything, so I go into these things super blind. More blind than I should, right? Oh, I thought I dodged that.
No escape.
There's nothing I hate more than swapping into Yuzuha and just doing something stupid just to waste my time.
Careful. I bite. Alrighty, I won't hold back. Catch him off guard. The final act begins now. Got it. The show must go on. Ta-da! Don't get scared, y'all. Wanna know what lurks in the darkness?
70 hopes. How's our score doing? Well, that's doing way better than last time.
Hit him where it hurts. I'll make it painless. Careful. I bite. Wanna know what lurks in the darkness? Now, you're the prey. Careful. I bite.
70 ult.
Let's make this quick.
The hell was that? There's some hitboxes flying around the arena for no reason. Oh, I should have swapped into Nangong and then gotten the stun. That would have been more advisable, I think.
Wanna know what lurks in the darkness? Here's a taste of the
Sitting with the
abyss.
ults. Wow, that weapon actually made a huge difference. A bigger difference than I feel like it should have. I mean, partially, again, it's also boss knowledge. Like, I know how to fight the boss now a little bit. Just hit it with this. And now, so we made it to the 20. Oh, it took a couple tries. Our score is going to be super low this rotation, though. And again, there's... I don't know what the upper limit is. I think with better rotations and just like, getting more and more used to the boss, maybe I can hit 25. We'll have to see, but I mean, I'll probably try it a little more. It's just... the first run is always messy as you're learning what to do. And introduction of these control skills are kind of irritating because they don't do anything other than, okay, I got hit because I didn't, I haven't memorized the boss yet. You know what I mean? Like, whenever you're like, whenever you make that sound, when something happens, it's never a good sign of boss design, right? When you're fighting a boss and you're just like disinterested and then you're like, oh, I guess that's a thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's the boss equivalent of, yeah, I get it, like when someone has to explain to you the joke, when you're fighting a boss and like the boss has to explain to you what's going on, then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. Like the difference between the score I have now and the score I had back then was, yeah, I get it. It was just like you couldn't intuit it from the fight. They had to put text prompts to tell you how to do stuff. That I don't know. Again, and this isn't a bad thing. It's a skill issue on my part, but it's just like one of the things I liked about this game was go back to like the first bosses, right? I mean, look, these three are just whatever, right? They're the new boss, the new gen ones. But if you go back to like, see, look, this is all the new ones. I think the unknown complex, the oops, that's the wrong thing. Unknown complex. What are some older ones? Wow, we have not like the only older one we got is like Pompeii's right here. Marionettes are right here. Miasma Priest is still relatively in the middle. Complex, whatever. They were just intuitive through fighting them. Like all of them that you had a decent chance going in the first time. As long as you know the fundamentals. Here's the thing that I'm trying to express here. The first gen bosses were like, if you know the fundamentals of Zenless, you can go in here and do pretty well without having to memorize whatever because you know the game pretty well. One of the things with these new bosses, and again, it's not, I'm overblowing it because I find it kind of boring to do, but it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? So I'm not saying everybody has to agree with me here, but with these new gen bosses, a lot of them are more like you have to know this boss very well. Where back then it's like, okay, I don't know the complex very well. I don't spend all my time training and trying to beat him up. But because I play Zenless in general and I'm good at Zenless, I can fight him, on a decent, like, whatever. With these bosses, you have to learn the boss, not so much the mechanics. So it's good to have a foundation of all the mechanics, right? I know how to play this game pretty well. When you get to these bosses, the difference between I had like 11,000 score before. Again, I was missing the weapon, but I'm pretty sure that weapon isn't just going to double my points, right? Anyway, the point being is that like the first time I ran through, I didn't know the boss, but I know how to play Zenless pretty well. But the game didn't ask me how well I can play Zenless. That game asked me how well can I play the Scorched Horizon, right? So once you learn how to play the Scorched Horizon, which only took like one try, I double my points easily. So what was the point of that barrier to entry for the boss? You know what I mean? Like, I get the idea that like, oh, these bosses, we kind of have to make them a little more interesting, but they don't commit to that making them more interesting. It's just a surface level. It's just like, well, your general knowledge works okay, but when you get to these bosses, that general knowledge is a little bit reduced, and you have to learn this boss a little bit. But they don't commit to that idea because learning the boss is just like one or two extra steps that if you weren't doing them, and you were doing kind of just general good execution, and you weren't doing those specific things here, it's kind of like, what's the word? It's like when you put a challenge in front of somebody, it's like, oh, here's an obstacle course, right? I want to test you going through this obstacle course. Well, it's a dumb analogy. It's hard to express what I'm trying to say. It's like you're trying to put a lock onto a door, and you think it's a complicated puzzle, but all you have to do is there's a key like on the floor. You pick it up and you put it in there, in the lock, and then you open it, right? Was that satisfying? No, it was just a step in the way. You know what I mean? So when it comes to like this, and a lot of these bosses, again, Wandering Hunter and Defiler are kind of similar. I like Defiler kind of, but there's a few irritating things about her. I don't know. This will take time to like make. I'd have to make an individual video for every boss and explain their mechanics and like itemizing what I do and don't like. But a lot of the new gen bosses have this thing of like, yeah, you have a general knowledge of the game, and which is good as a foundation, but now you have to kind of memorize what this boss specifically is asking you to do. And I find stuff like that kind of irritating, especially when they take away agency, right? Discordant Solo is atrocious for this. But the Discordant Solo lady with the guitar, the robot, she just like at every port and call, she tries to do her cutscene thing where she's like flying around. You can barely hit her, but it's like, oh, for this time, for the next like 10 seconds, you have to like chain block, which is not bad. It's just like, you're just wasting my time. I could be doing other things. And there's been bosses before her who do chain blocks. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the chain block is, what's the word? Is the problem? No, the problem I'm just trying to express is that there's a lot of moments when you're fighting these newer bosses where I just have to sit here and watch him take his turn like I'm playing some kind of turn-based RPG, right? And that's kind of what bothers me. I prefer more fluid interaction, not let me just sit here and let them do stuff while I watch, and then, okay, now it's my turn. You know what I mean? Again, let's go back to what I'm saying. That's not necessarily bad design. I'm not arguing that it's bad. It's just what I'm saying is it's why I don't like it. I don't like it. Here's the reasons why I don't like it. Am I right or wrong? No, I'm not right. I'm not wrong. It's just my preferences. So if anybody ever sees me complaining, that's kind of, I mean, no one's gonna watch this video. It's gonna be 1 out of 100 in the next few days or whatever. But the point being is that if anybody wanted that itemized, it's that's my view on it. And it's why if you hear me complaining about some of the newer bosses, this is kind of why is all these things that I've been trying to express. But in any case, this is about to be refreshed, so I figured I had to get it in before the thing reset, and then we'll see how we do next time. I'm probably right now I'm pulling like I don't have enough pulls to get Promia, but I'm kind of pulling for her because again, and Pridwin isn't the best like source for information, but it's a good starting point. It's a good jumping off point. And then once you get into the game, you start understanding things like, okay, then you kind of tweak things to what you need or whatever. But on Pridwin, they have Promia listed with her weapons, and the fusion compiler is so close to her own weapon in terms of like damage. Like it's like 99%. That it makes the prospect of pulling for her right now pretty interesting. So I'm probably just gonna keep pulling. I don't think I'm gonna get her, but I'm just gonna I get another 10 summon, I'm gonna drop another 10 in there, and then we'll see if we get her. If not, it doesn't really matter. It's mainly just because S rank Billy is coming and Orphe's coming, and I don't want either of them. And floundering around as I do, not having ice damage is like really getting on my nerves. And now, not only am I not going to have ice damage, I'm probably not going to have wind damage because I don't like that. The lady with the fan, the new wind, whatever. I'm sure it's great, and eventually there'll be a character that'll make me want to pull for the wind damage type. But right now, the one that's coming out, I don't want it, and it's going to be a while before we get another one because every element like takes forever. It's like, oh, here's this element. Good, you better pick them up now because you're not going to see this element for another 4 months, except for electricity and ice. Ice, we went a long time. We got Ellen, and then after a few months, a decent amount of time, we got Miyabi. And then after Miyabi, we didn't get anything for ice until Yadari. No, until, what's his name? I forgot what his name was. Hugo. And then we got Yadari pretty close to that. And now we got Prummy again. And Lightning's even worse. Like, we get, actually, it might not be worse. But anyway, we just get, we got Harumasa. I don't know. I think we got Sambi right after. And then for some reason, Seed. And now Sissia. It's like, anyway. But anyway, yeah, that was my little rant here at the end. Regardless, I'll see you guys in the next video.